Welcome everyone to the Western Wisconsin Whiskey Emporium for ladies and gentlemen. I'm Eddie.
I'm Dan.
And we're the Deathless Dogs. Today, Dan and I are going to be reviewing the Whiskey Barons series, Bond and Lillard, as well as WB Saffell bottles. We could not find Old Rippy, which is a huge bummer. But apparently, many of you have had the same problems.
And we're reviewing these now because they've been sitting on our shelves forever in hopes of finding the third that we could not find. Batch 2 of these just came out, so we're seeing a lot of people talk about them online and figured might as well crack into them. These are both Batch 1.
And I was excited to get them because they come at a premium price point for how small the bottles are.
They're throwback brands to pre-prohibition whiskeys.
Hence the cool artwork and labeling and taping and the whole 9 yards. It's very cool looking. When I saw the bottles, they kind of popped out at me.
Yeah, it's cool branding. You'll also notice they're little tiny bottles. They're half size, 375.
I think it's supposed to kind of be a tribute to the old medicinal style whiskey bottles.
Premium priced because old WB here is $45.
Bond and Lillard comes in a little bit less at $39.99.
Just giving them the old look here. WB is much darker.
I think WB packs more of a punch, doesn't it?
It is 107 proof, and I think Bond and Lillard's 100.
Yep, that is correct. I almost wanted to say it was bottled in Bond, but that's just me reading a dude's last name.
If you're interested, we're not going to go through the whole story here. They give you a pretty big backstory on the website. Bond and Lillard won the grand prize at the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair.
It's kind of like the PBR of whiskey. Not to be confused with PBR whiskey. Small bottle popping.
The nose on that Bond and Lillard is really nice.
It kind of is reminiscent of like a Russell's.
But much more like creamy, powdered sugary, like
Would you go as far as to say like powdered donut holes?
No, I'm thinking more like donut glaze. Have you ever made frosting for something where you just mix powdered sugar and milk together and stir it up?
Okay.
Make like a glaze that way? That's what this smells like.
Okay. No, I could kind of see that actually. I'm getting some grain elements.
Yeah, a little bit.
A baking prep type of situation.
Yeah.
You're at the kitchen counter, you're mixing stuff into a bowl, getting ready to go.
A little doughy. That's one of my favorite noses I've had in a long time. Creamy flavor. Like that frosting I was talking about.
I'm astounded, like the Kentucky Hug element is there. And there's like a light fruitiness and a sweetness. This is one of the sweetest whiskeys I think I've had in a long time.
Funfetti cake.
I could see that.
Kind of a funfetti cake made with a little bit of a fruit mixed in there.
It doesn't have the mouthfeel of like a Russell's.
No.
Or a Wild Turkey product in general, really. Much more liquidy, but it packs a flavor that is everything you'd want and more.
On that last sip, it got a little bit dry at the end, a little bit of oak, but predominantly sweet, like cake batter ice cream.
This is
really good.
I am so happy that we have this bottle.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad that it's so small. I feel like we got to jump over to the WB Saffell. The nose on this one is also quite pleasant.
It's more oaky.
This is more caramel, darker.
This one could have more of that like cinnamon spice, I believe. Earthy, natural. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of like the label suggests, really. You're on the farm.
A more prevalent corn on the WB.
On the WB! Yes.
So that one's more oaky, sharper. Still sweet though, but like a corn sweet. I think this falls more in line with like current Wild Turkey products.
This reminds me of something, and I need to know. Russell's 13.
I'm not getting that grape thing though.
I kind of was. This is for science, really. Just do a little pour.
Very different smell.
A different smell, but I'm talking flavor.
They're a lot different. It's a similar oakiness, though, but the flavor's a lot different.
I don't know about like a lot different.
Yeah, it's a lot different. Russell's is much darker, much more on the grape. WB is much sweeter. Like, I don't think this is going to be a substitute for Russell's 13. I still think you should get this if you see it.
Both of these, I think, are definitely buy again for sure candidates, and we'll try the batch 2s. Absolutely.
Yeah, if I see those, I'll pick them up.
Absolutely. They're different. They're so much different.
I'm taking my pick. I'm going to say Bond and Lillard is my winner. Not by a landslide or anything. They're both great. I think Bond and Lillard just has kind of a different thing going for it, with that like cake batter kind of thing. It's super sweet, super approachable.
It's so light too. You know, everything about it is just fluffy, light.
Right. Fluffy is a good way to describe it. It's very flavorful. It's not light on flavor. The flavor itself is just this light, airy...
Angel food.
Yep. WB Saffell holds more of a traditional wild turkey
Earthy.
Characteristic.
More traditional bourbon element. At what, $5 more than the Bond and Lillard? It's not ripping you off. You're getting your value out of it.
That's going to be the sticking point for a lot of people, is the size of these bottles. Price being what it is. But, I mean, you'd look at it, would you pay for this, you know, $90 for a full-size bottle or $80 for a full-size bottle of this? I would.
I would pay for, I would buy multiple of these if they were available. They're good. But I, too, I think would prefer a light and refreshing Bond and Lillard.
I think it's just a little different, and it's memorable.
I'm going to try to channel my own Damian Lillard here.
Have you had either of these or the third entry of the Whiskey Baron collection? Let us know in the comments. What did you think? Was it worth it with the higher price on the small bottle? If you haven't yet, hit like on the video, hit subscribe on the channel, hit the little bell, and get notified whenever we're doing the things that we're doing here.
From the Western Wisconsin Whiskey Emporium for ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.